This is the second of my Cabinets of Curiosities, which contain a mixture of genuine and fake material, leaving the viewer to ponder what is true and what isn't. I made this cabinet as a triptych, and the patterns that you can see on the front are made following the movements of a knight on the chessboard, which is solving the Knight's Tour puzzle. Let's have a look at some of the exhibits. This is a pair of lotus shoes, tiny shoes that were made for Chinese women who'd been subjected to the practice of foot binding before it was outlawed in China in 1910. This is a Japanese cigarette bearing the chrysanthemum symbol of the imperial family. Japanese kamikaze pilots during the Second World War were given one of these before embarking on their first and last missions. This is a fragment of a 14th century Venetian terracotta tile with an impression of someone's foot on it. This wasn't unusual in tile making. Often people would walk across the wet clay as it was put out in the sun to dry, leaving footprints. This is a pocket watch which saved the life of Henry Gifford when he was shot by a sniper in the Battle of the Somme during the First War. You can clearly see here the impression of a cogwheel from the mechanism as it was pushed through the back and made this impression on the back plate. Ironically, Henry Gifford died during the influenza epidemic which happened immediately after the war finished. You wouldn't give this thing a second look, would you? But it's a piece of trinitite, a totally new mineral which was created at the test of the first atomic bomb in the Nevada desert. And it gives me a strange sort of creepy feeling that this was created at the moment that mankind's destiny changed forever. It is still mildly but not dangerously radioactive. This is a grain of rice from India that's been engraved on both sides. On one side it says to Professor DMS Watson FRS, and on the other it says from KN Baal. Whilst we're on the subject of miniaturism, this is a piece of metal type with the Lord's Prayer on the end. It's about 3 millimeters square. It was made by the Monotype Corporation, a type foundry, in the 1950s or 60s. This is a homunculus, or little man, said to have been created by Andimogenes, who was an alchemist in Budapest. He's said to have kept it alive on lavender seeds and earthworms, but this is undoubtedly a 19th century fake, which was probably created for a circus sideshow or a fair. This is a piece of chalk used by Albert Einstein during one of the Rhodes Memorial lectures in Oxford on relativity that he conducted in 1931. It was retrieved by a research student who kept it for posterity. This is a matchbox containing Schrödinger's caterpillar, which exists in several different states simultaneously inside the box until such time as somebody opens it to observe it. If you don't know what I'm talking about, then put Schrödinger into Google. This is a beautiful little 19th century Japanese erotic netsuke carved from hippopotamus ivory. If you want to see it in its entirety, then have a look at it on my website. This is a set of nesting Russian dolls, which get smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller until they probably disappear into infinity. If you haven't already done so, please go and have a look at my other cabinet, cabinet number 1, and if you want more details on all the exhibits which are in these cabinets, have a look at my website and go to Curiosities. These cabinets are for hire or loan to good venues anywhere in the world, so if you're interested, please get in touch with me. Thank you for watching.